Good morning, everybody. So, no shenanigans this morning because whilst it's exciting every week in the market, I'm getting you a URL off my other screen. That's why I'm looking this way. Here is a cheat sheet from last Friday's call. Sorry, not call, video update that Maurizio does in the
Oh,
chat.
you did a cheat sheet. Oh shit. Now I need to be very careful what I say in those
Yeah,
gameplay
yeah,
videos,
yeah.
man.
All right, all right.
Now I'm
So,
gonna be accountable, so everything goes in.
yeah, man, let's get into
Now
the fine stuff.
let's see if that work or not, man. Like fuck.
But
Okay.
the big lesson here is, right? It's like if you read what's in the bullish and the bearish separately, you can
Mhm.
see how we try and build this kind of weighting picture, like what's the likelihood of this, the likelihood of this, and that's how you build these kind of scenarios. So if you look at those two, you can really learn a lot doing it that way. So with that said, I have a million fucking things that I do want to, but today we need Maurizio. So I'll be in the background and the show's
Awesome. All right,
yours.
guys. So how you doing? Like, yeah, lots to talk about. A lot of things happens. I don't know. It's still around.
Say again, mate.
Uh, it's Todd. Have you
Oh,
seen
Todd,
Todd
yeah.
in the chat?
Yeah.
Because hey,
There he
mate,
is.
last Monday exactly, we talked about the range and the breakout and all. So I don't know if you took that trade, man. That trade with me like a scalp that became freaking huge swing or whatever. I don't know if you took that trade. The one that we actually talked at the end of the one. But yeah. Yeah, there you go. Good job, man. Like that's the thing in terms of scalping, right? Sometimes the thing I didn't, I need to be on top of on the charts in case of something happens. So yeah, but if you took it, that was the perfect one, man. That was a beautiful one. Beautiful, beautiful. All right, so let's get cracking. Because yeah, a lot of things to talk about. A lot of things to talk about. Let me just give me 1 second. So how are you guys feeling about crypto this morning? Uh, Before I give you my thoughts, I just want to hear yours. What do you guys feel? Yes, Donna. I love it. You hate it when it's pumping. You hate it when it's down. You fucking. I sometimes feel that way, to be honest. But that's how markets work. So it's funny, right? Like if markets pump and you're not in it, right? You say fuck. If markets drop and you're not in it, they say, yeah, I was right. And vice versa, right? So technically you can win. I don't know if you guys feel the same way, but I think you do. Like if you're playing this game, is that how that's how it goes, right? Uh so anyway, like I mentioned, we just have to read the market to for all the information that we have available and then probably make the best possible decision that we can make on the moment. If we're right, we're right. If we're wrong, we're wrong, right? So, okay, let's get cracking because yeah, it was a hectic weekend, week I will say, right? All right. All right. And we did call off some trades. We are on some trades. I'm glad most of our trades are working. So far so good. So let's start with Bitcoin. All right. What do you guys feel now? Before I give you my thoughts, this is exactly the trade that we talked with Todd at the end, right? So let me and yeah, last week was so you know the the dynamics between the CBD and open interest it was clear, right? In a way, how far that would get, I wouldn't guess it, to be honest. I was, if you play scalps, which is the game that we we taught live, right? That was the play, right? We were around sort of around here. This is the 30 minutes chart, by the way. You basically take your trade something like this, right? take some profits off the table here, and move your stop loss. And that would have been like a fucking like 20R, something like that, like a really huge, and you start moving the stop loss. How often these opportunities come? Not often, right? So you usually when you play like this, you're going to get a stopped out, but at least you take some profit, right? But all of a sudden you're gonna have these runs where all the shorts are getting squeezed, and happy days. You just start moving the stop loss, right? And then you just keep banking and banking and banking. So that's but you have to be at the right moment and the right time. And I guess at the end of the call we sort of were, right? We were just around here. If I'm pretty sure because the lines are there, the lines that we drew at the end of the call. So yeah, happy days for Todd. He took it. So all good. I didn't take it by the way. So uh anyway, all right. Coming back to this, let me just delete all these lanes now because there's a different market. Today is a different thing. So let's go back to our daily and let's talk about this. So let's start with the weekly, right? So the weekly. This is a interesting candle, huge weekly, right? Candle. If it closes like this, then what do you guys reckon it will happen? Like, what's your thoughts around Solana or around the whole market? Do you think we're going to have continuation towards the upside? Or do you guys think, no, I'm still bearish? Or you guys think this is range or this is everything is a lie? What do you guys think? I just want to hear your thoughts. Okay, so going up, I thought until September 15th. That's very specific, Ian. Why September 15th? Okay, there you go. Okay. I know, Sean, who knows, right? Like, we just have to make the decision of what we have in place here. So, yep. Then it will dump. That's another assumption. There you go. Okay, okay, okay. All right. Let's let's now be objective and start seeing what the charts are. So technically what we're trying to decide here is this going to have continuation, right? Or is this going to hammer? Or what are the possibilities, right? What are the probabilities or where the shorts might come in, right? So that's the first thing that I want to sort of pick up. Where do you think shorts might be interested to short, or maybe longs are interested to actually take some profits out of the table? Like from the weekly perspective, where do you guys think that that could happen based on what you see in the charts? And yeah, I just gave you some hints just because I have my lines in there. But then, yeah, I see. Something to be mindful in terms of, when you start putting time frames, like 2 weeks up and then it continues, so next week down. Just be careful with that because you don't know what the buyers are going to be next week. You don't know if next week market changes completely. You don't know if the Strait of Hormuz is going to be completely open and open for business this week, next week, or the week after, right? So just be objective in terms of price action and you know what's going on in the market, right? So that's why I don't tend to time anything, like say, oh, by this time or by this time, things will do this and that, because you're gonna become biased, and then if things changes, then you will not react because your bias is in 1 week or in 2 weeks. All right, that's something that I've learned through experience, right? So I always, because think about this price action. I was expecting that this week, right? Well, obviously Trump talked about the Clarity Act and all the sort of stuff. That's the main reason, perhaps, why this does like this happen, right? A lot of shorts being squeezed, a lot of shorts. We saw that last week, right? We didn't know that that was going to be that, but I did say and I'm glad it's on camera, that if it happens, it was going to be huge, right? So that's why we started adding some risk on some tokens before this thing, right? Why I didn't want to go all in on everything? Because I didn't know, right? So that's risk management, right? So unless you're actually scalping, you can actually do much more risk in terms, and because you control the positions, but I didn't want to like get position fully, right now. So with that being said, in terms of market structure, weekly perspective still is bearish, believe it or not, right? Believe it or not, it's still bearish. Why? Because this is the high, this is the high, and now we're printing another high right here. So if this high becomes a lower high, right, it could be attractive for shorts, period, right? Like, even though it's an amazing candle, structurally speaking, it looks like still looks bearish, right? So we do have a possibility of a retracement, right? Now, if we drop this on a week daily, right? Daily paints a different picture. And let me just try to delete lines here because they now don't make any sense. So this is the one that we were sort of tracking, the $65,000 one, bank that went through the roof, right? Now the market actually is resting in the little EMA right here, right? This is the 200 daily EMA, right? So that's the resistance that is being put in there. So, but we still have a macro bias towards the downside, right? So there could be, right, some short positioning here. Now, who is going to win again, shorts or longs? That's another fight that comes out, that comes in this level. Okay, so that's basically what I'm seeing. Now, this is going to be an interesting market because we have different possibilities, right? We have the possibility of this thing breaking that at continuation. We have the possibility of a retracement. Where do you get positioned, right? Or it will develop a range, or this thing just starts dropping from here. Would you agree? Those are basically the options, right?
So we take off, we move sidewards, or we have possibly a shallow bear. Are those the three?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. So is this so with that being said, I just need to put probabilities in each one of these ones, right?
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
um now I go and start exploring more stuff, right? Because obviously this is what I want to decide. Do I want to get in now? If, let's say, if I'm not in any positions, because we are in positions, now should we take profits now?
Hmm.
Should we hold, or should we just go short, or what the fuck should we do? So we need to make a decision, right? So essentially, that's basically what we need to solve or gather insights to make, you know what I mean, to have to add the odds to any probability. Okay,
Yeah. Like if I'm
so
using, say, the 21 week and the 50 month MAs, then I need to see have we had a close above them as we've been below them for so long? And if we've had a close above them, I always think, oh, I got to wait a whole nother week, see if I can get a retest above them before I can feel any confidence of the information. I don't know sometimes if I wait too long, but
yeah,
that, hmm,
the problem of the weekly is that waiting too long. You know what I mean? Because obviously once the week is over, then maybe the retracements will happen, right? Or
mhm.
but the problem is on very strong markets. Remember, if you go back, I don't know how many calls I talked about the psychology of the bull run, when you know how the higher lows are formed psychologically speaking, right? And that's basically what I'm going to be pointing at here. The problem is you don't know in which time frame are going to happen. You don't know if it's going to be on the weekly, on the daily, because the bullish they run, the more small time frames you're going to have to explore in order to get positioned, right? Because there's more demand for it. Like it's like, remember what we talk about that the market is an auction, right?
Hmm.
So when the market is an auction and everybody wants the hot stuff, what do you guys think it will happen? On any pullback, but then here's the thing, by the pullback. What is your fucking definition of a pullback? A pullback is going back to 70, 68, 67, 66, 65.
Hmm.
What's a pullback, right? So that it gets tricky, right? Because a pullback is just the market retracing and people buying back heavily, right? So
Okay,
this could
so
be a pullback.
sorry to interrupt. On that very thing then,
Sure.
Maurizio,
Yep.
um, why wouldn't you get out, say, a fib retracement tool here that is for measuring pullbacks and golden levels and stuff?
That's great. That's a tool, right? Question: where would you draw the the fifth level from? That's a
Well,
discretionary
yeah,
decision.
it is. So what I do is I do two. I do one from the
Hmm.
candle bodies and one from the wicks, and then I've got two
But what I mean,
representations, an
yeah,
exuberant one and a normal one.
what I mean is, would you draw it from here, or would you draw
Ah,
it from here?
that's a good question. So at the
Yep.
moment, I would do it from the first circle that you drew.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. So that becomes discretionary per se. That's
Hmm.
why I don't do it. You know what I mean? Like because if I if I drew it wrong, then
Hmm.
I'm biased towards that fib level. And I'm not going to buy unless it touches the 50%, 75, 25, whatever you
All right.
basically decide.
But are you also not using it because you've been watching these pullbacks for 15 years?
Exactly. Now it becomes, uh, I'll tell you what's the best way, not the best way, or is just watching different time frames react. Okay, that's the
Hmm.
best way if you really do want to get position. Or just accept that you might not get it and take a bigger wide stop loss, which basically is being my approach. Otherwise, you're going to be watching the markets pretty much 24/7 because you
All
don't
right.
know which pullback is going to happen. So the main thing is unbiased long at the moment. Okay. Now the thing, and I'm going to give you my reasons why, right? But then that's you know what I mean. Like in essence, when you start drawing tools, is starts getting you know what I mean? Like I can give you reasons why you should draw it from here, and I can give you reasons why you should draw it from here. Right?
Hmm.
So that's the trick in terms of those tools. Okay, so it gets tricky to teach or to just provide you with my implications of that. So basically, I just want to make it simple, and I just want to go through the levels and the levels. If you have noticed what has happened before, all the levels that we have sort of draw in the past, there is always a reaction on those levels. Always. Like for instance, this level here, we drew it a while back, and that's a combination of a psychological level, an 80,000 level, right? And
Hmm.
also the combination of this level right here, which is kind of this range, right? So interesting enough, you have the biggest reaction right there, right? That's where people actually decided to either add some shorts or take some profits, period, right? So those levels are always fine that are are much more stronger than any drawing tool that you can actually do. You know what I mean? Like because you see the reaction there, right? You see it.
Hmm.
And the biggest one that let me just bring what is my other the biggest one, the one that I use the most. Oh, 1 second. Let me just stop the sharing and I don't know what happened to my other screen. All right, yeah. Okay. We talk about the CVD, right? So one of the ones that I always share those levels with you guys is if you see this massive influx of volume coming through, especially on the CBD, right? Those are levels to be respected. Think about it from the psychology. So that's why I draw my levels. That's this level right here, right? 65,000. That's sorry, 69. Huge influx. Right here, right? Huge influx. This area right here, huge influx right here. This area right here. From all the way here to here, which is the breakout, right? Kind of. Why they're important? Because think about it from the perspective, whoever is getting positioned here, right, is going to try to respect those levels. If the market goes down, right, these are heavy buyers, right? People that actually, like, if you start going onto a loss, right, they might start taking some profits, right? They might just not be so sure that the market will have continuation from the place that they actually bought. Okay. However, the tricky bit is you don't know who's buying, you don't know anything, and you don't know how much they're willing to be on a drawdown before they actually start executing. So, but just having ideas of these levels, I think, is important, right? So that's why those massive influx, and those influx don't come from candles. Those influx come from the idea that people are buying at those levels. Period. Those are the best sort of pullback areas that you can actually think of, right? So you will see when the bull market comes, right? Which I'm not fully sold yet, but it's looking that way, right? By the way, next week it's going to be the Jackson Hole. Next week or the week after, I need to check the dates, but there's going to be the Jackson Hole meeting. That's always volatility, whatever they say on that meeting, about the Crypto Act or whatever, if they say is going to create volatility, okay? And that's kind of the problem on this. Um, yes, thank you, Todd. So obviously that's basically what I've been doing for the past, in terms of long term, right? You can actually use it for short term as well. But yeah, it could get volatile, and like I mentioned on Friday, on my video, and before we actually start getting positioned, expect volatility. And why expect volatility in terms of getting wiped out in terms of leverage is very common on these kind of markets. Why? Because you know people that do a spot, they nothing happens to them. But let's say if you go with heavy leverage and then you get a wick down, like you're gonna get wiped out either in your position or either in your account. Depends. If you don't put a stop loss, then you're fucked in a way, right? So so be careful with that, right? And I can definitely, let's go back, and for instance, what happened with the position with Asta. So we went on Asta probably on Thursday, okay? And I did say that this was going to get volatile. We almost got it stopped out on this fucking position, right? And I didn't. I'm start. And that's yesterday, Saturday. This is the price reaction on Saturday. That was Friday. Everything was great, and then bang, in one freaking day, right? From uh, this is what happened. Yeah, 23% in one day, right? If you start dropping it down, right, to small time frames, let's bring it down to 6 hours. Let's bring it down to 4 hours. Let's bring it down to 1 hour. That happened in 3 hours. Check this out. In 3 hours, you get this massive influx, right? We're still fine, right? And now we're still down in a position. Now, after this flush is over, then we can start looking for bigger size, right? Or adding into it, like I said on Friday. Okay, so this is just to highlight what it could happen on leverage. Is this going to happen across the board? On some tokens, depends on how liquid, depends on the liquidity and who's actually driving this thing. But coming back to Bitcoin, right? All right, so let me just okay. So where are good times? Where do you think we can actually start getting position back again? So the thing though as well is IBIT is reacting really well. Look at these gaps, huge gaps, right? In terms of IBIT. So Uh, these gaps are going to get filled. Huge gap, right, between this and this, right? They could get filled. So that could be an interesting area of retracement, right? If the market pulls back, right, then ideally wait to see what's the reaction around 6,500, so stuff like that. But don't get married to the idea that it has to pull back, right? Because on bull runs, if this is a real bull run, then the market will not come back. You know, we've seen it, right? Before. So, and then is I'll wait 2 weeks and then the market will drop. Maybe it will, maybe it won't, right? So just go with what you see objectively, I will say. So with that being said, right? So I'm just preparing to see what I want to see the market for high continuation, right? So what I want to see that the CBD keeps strong, very strong, man. Like CBD keeps just it's not giving, right? It's not giving up, right? So, and you can actually see that even though, but this is yesterday price action, right? So yesterday price action is looking okay, but that was Sunday price action, right? So we could option one, we could see leverage wipeouts, right, at these levels. I think that the interesting level will be this area right here. Let me just here, here. That's the one. This one, this area right here. So this area right here could be an interesting area to pay attention. And what? Okay. So that area right there, right, which is the 74,000, right? It could target those long leverage. People that actually goes long on leverage at this area, we start seeing a little bit of leverage liquidations up here, right? So all the shorts are out technically, right? Are new shorts piling up? Very hard to say. I cannot actually say by the looks of it. Yeah, I don't know if the shorts are piling up or I don't know if longs are piling up. I just don't have a clear view. Last week was a different view, right? So some days you could read it, some days you can't. And today I can't, like, unless you guys have a different opinion. If you do, let me know. I want to hear your thoughts. And Robert, yes, gaps could get filled on retracement. It could. It's a possibility. All right. Um, Donna, you know what? Go back and look last week. I think that was the greatest call we ever done in terms of the dynamics of open interest and CBD. It was so clear, right? So clear. So if you look last week's call, you're gonna get out of it. You're gonna get a lot out of it in terms of how to read this stuff, man. Sometimes you can. Sometimes it's really clear, man, and sometimes it's not. But that comes with experience and what the price does. Okay, so yeah, just go back and watch that one, man. I think we should. Yeah, that call was great, Ian. What do you think? Um,
It was. I'm trying
yeah,
to think of a date to go back and grab it.
that's last week, last Monday. Actually,
It was
last
just
Monday.
last Monday. Fucking
Yeah,
sorry, man.
yeah,
I've got.
yeah,
Ugh.
yeah. Watch it and watch it several times because I haven't seen the readout so clear, right? That's why I
Oh,
spent
sorry. Of
this.
course, I'm with you now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
So all right, going back to this. So that could be my first thing. But don't forget, if we start seeing breakouts, this is the break. This is a breakout market sort of situation. When you go into breakouts, what that means, you need to see what the CBD is doing on those breakouts. If we add in more, then more people getting piled in on these breakouts, right? There is that misconception in terms of breakouts, when to and when not to, right? Right? Breakouts are a hard game, man. Like playing the breakouts, I'm not that good at it, but when everything is in a bull run, breakouts become easy. Breakouts become really easy to play. Okay, so that's another possibility right there. So with that being said, um, bullish based on CVD, right? Still bullish based on price action. This price action has been very, very strong. The main reason is you do have the same price action across all majors, right? And that happens usually not often, right? When everything comes in at once, right? Then there is a lot of demand for crypto in terms of volume right now, right? Is that going to be sustained? Who knows? But so far, right, I'm not seeing any weakness. That's it. Like I'm not seeing it. Until I start seeing weakness, I see volatility, right? But weakness per se, I don't see it unless you guys see it or point me into the wrong, into the right direction because I'm not seeing weakness anywhere. Um, Leverage is a different story, right? Because you could get wiped out if you have a big leverage, right? We could see. Let's have a look at what happened with all our positions because this is a really great representation of what happened. So the first one, Asta, fucking huge volatility in 3 hours, right? And now we're good, right? I'm now thinking to add more with bigger risk. Now, the biggest area that we need to clear in Asta is the 78 level, is the $78,000. This range has been here for ages, right? Once we clear that one, we're going to get a huge, if we clear it, right, we're going to get a huge influx to the upside. So I wouldn't mind adding more after we have a breakup of this area of this 200 EMA. So that's basically what I'm waiting on Nasdaq, right? And other than that, the long week and two straight lower highs. Yes. What do you mean two straight lower highs? This one and this one in terms of the daily? BTC. Got it. I see. Yeah, in terms of weakness. Yeah, got it. Got it. Got it. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. That's the only thing, the lower high. Once we break this structure right here, which is the $82,000 level, maybe the next step for shorts to be piling will be around this area, right? And I'll be looking at the even a 98,000 because this is the area where everything just broke down, right? So, um, you know, that's going to be my next sort of area of warning in a way, like, okay, let's watch out this area and see what happens there, right? So yeah, so it looks pretty good, man. Like unless something shifts, unless in the meeting, the Jackson Hole meeting, something shifts, Trump just do something, or I don't know, the conflicts turn around in a different way or whatever. So far, microstructure looks pretty solid. Let's go back to hype. So we went on hype here. I haven't taken any profits, okay? I did say that I was going to take some profits, but market looks really strong, man. I think it's not a bad idea to start taking some profits now if you haven't. I'm going to take profits on the leverage trade, but on the spot, I'm still holding, okay? And I'm okay with the spot going low. But please take some profits now. If you are in this trade, move the stop loss. If this has continuation, happy days, right? So this trade, already 5R from our entry. So if you reach 1,000, you already make 5,000, right? I think I'm going to is in terms of price action on this one, it's very sustained. So I'm not. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to take some profit. Take some profit now. Take some profit. Take some profit. Probably 30% and move the stop loss. And yeah, no, you can actually like if this has if we do have a pullback, right? But think about now in terms of pullbacks, right? This one hasn't come back down yet. right? So I think people will be like, and we are all-time highs hype. So how far this could go, right? No one fucking knows. The only thing that I can tell you is sometimes price action when it goes on all-time highs, be aware of the of what happens at the psychological levels. And what are the main psychological levels? 80, 90, 100, right? Why? Because that's the only reference that you have. Oh, I'm gonna hold them until 90. But that's the way it is, unfortunately. Let me just show you in the 1 hour what happened here at 80. Where are you, 80? Right here. That was the big, like that's the biggest pullback we had in hype, and it happened at actually happened in 82. It happened in 80. Surprising. All right. But this is the biggest pullback. What that means is people are still buying this stuff, right? So until they take profits or until shorts piled up here, then I don't see any weakness here, but it could drop, right? So take some profits. With Lit, unfortunately, I didn't get the second position in, but we're still driving this one. The original position is going nuts. And we are very close to all-time highs here. Do I want to add more on this one? No, not yet, because obviously we sort of missed the opportunity of adding around here, but I'm happy with this one, and we are positioned on Asta. So we are positioned on Hype, Lead, and Asta, which is basically all Dexes, so I don't want to add more. Let's talk about Warcoin. Warcoin, look at this thing, man. We had this is our first trade. We got to stop out here. And this one, we got to stop on break even on this one. So I didn't care, but this one had a lot of volatility. But still, it didn't take us out, right? Well, it didn't take me out, but and we're still I think this one will have continuation, right? The fact that we have this volatility and still holding, I'm tempted to add more, but I don't want to add more in the same token. I might just take some profits while it gets here again and start compounding that way. So, all right. So the plan for stuff to, if we do have continuation, what's the plan? Which is that's my bias, right? I'm probably 75, yeah, 70% towards the bull side, right? Based on what I just said. Just be mindful in terms of all those fundamentals, what happens at the meeting. But with that being said, I just wanna see the spaghetti charts and show you what's the strongest thing. So at the moment, right? Ethereum is leading the race, right? Let me just go a little bit from June. From June, I wanna go from June. All right. Ethereum leading the race, Solana, Hype, Bitcoin, and BNB. So Ethereum leading the race, it leads us to some interesting one. I was going to get in INA. INA. It's been a fucking interesting coin, man. But I think INA does still have a really good upside. We went on XRP. Yeah. We went on XRP and I did two risks on this one. Did you guys don't know if you guys got in or not? So the first risk, XRP looks pretty good. And why? If Clarity Act becomes active and all this sort of stuff, I think this one will have a good upside. So then I added two trades, one with a wider stop and another one with a small stop, and both are working now. So far so good. So this one, is just consolidating here, right, on this area, but it looks good. It looks good for continuation. It looks pretty good. So happy we hold that one. But I'll be taking some because it's two. I added two trades here, right, at the same time with two different risks, right, profiles in a way. Once it gets around the 2.5, I'll start taking some profits right here around this area right here. Okay, where exactly I don't know. Depends on how the market looks if we get there, right. For the time being, you can actually move the stop loss on this one. You can actually move the stop loss on this one and have no risk whatsoever. what I will do is I will move the stop loss on my higher risk one, right? And this one I'm just gonna leave it. If we get volatile, that's fine, right? Cool. So in terms of INA, fucking INA, man. INA is looking pretty good, man. INA is looking really good. And obviously, this is going to be pumped by the Clarity Act as well, Ethereum. When Ethereum is in a bull market, uh, if INA, if you understand the mechanisms of INA in terms of the USDE, how it holds the USD together, right? It uses a lot of Ethereum and a lot of different algorithms. So when Ethereum goes up, this one will do really well as well. So even though it went up dramatically, right? It went up from here, it went up fucking 116%, right? And I was watching it, and I just had too much risk, man. That's the thing. Be careful with adding too much at once, right? Been burned before, right? So that's something to be aware in terms of risk management. So where we at right here, as you can see, we still have to clear this level, right? So we have possibilities of pullback towards this area right here, but I need to start looking at small time frames. 6 hours. All right, this is the 6 hours. This could be a very attractive level to get positioned if we get it, right? This area right here, right? Why we clear all these people, and if you start seeing volume coming through here, then I might get position here. So that's something that I'm watching. You can add some alerts if you want right there, which I'm going to do right now, and I'm going to add some alerts in the breakout area, right? Because that could be another way to play it, right? So those are the two areas that I'm watching. Okay. Um,
Nice, man. We've got
but
about a minute left.
Oh, fuck, minute left, man. There's so much stuff happening, man. Watching AI stuff, right? Chip and Grass. These ones, right, which are especially Chip. If AI comes along, so I'm looking for high risk, high reward trades, right? So Chip, Grass, Mon could be ones. Ondo, still. Look at Ondo, man. Ondo, I was very like, yeah, still I really like it, but look at this volatility as well. So you can go through the coins and look for the ones that did not have this volatility, and those could be the strongest horses to get on board, right? I'm still going through what happened after the weekend. Let's see what happens after they close. I'm taking it easy, but yeah, like Grass as well, man. Grass yesterday, but fucking Grass is very volatile, so be careful, right? Uh, but I like it. Long term, I like it. Grass is being it's an interesting project. So yeah, so many things, man. So many things. Everything is gonna go nuts once. So it's just, doesn't matter what you buy, everything's gonna go up. Some things are gonna be more than others, but I just give my thoughts in terms of which ones could get us there. So yeah, it's gonna be a
No.
hectic couple of months, man. Let's see. Let's see what happens. So yeah, that's it, guys.
Brilliant call today. Thanks, everybody.
All right, guys. Have a good one.